All right. Got a little scary. Got a little scary. What's happening, people? What's happening? They got a little bit scary there. Got a little bit scary there with Kenley there a little bit. But we have some updates of what we think it is. We have some Bill Plunkett updates, but I think we're going to be... I think everything's going to be just A-okay. We're going to be just fine. But I just want to just say, hey, who felt the earthquake tonight, huh? Who felt it tonight? It was only about a 4-4, but you know what? I felt a little bit of movement there. What's up, Chewy? What's up, everybody? What's going on? I felt a little movement tonight. I don't know if everybody else did, but you know, I was watching the game with, just like everybody else here in North Hollywood, and all of a sudden it goes, whoa, we got a little bit of movement. And I looked over and I said, did we just have an earthquake? Yeah, I guess so. I felt it. Tell me where you're at. I felt it in a bunch of people. Yes, I know we're going to get into Kenley Jansen. He's not on my list of things, but we'll get into him anyway in just a few minutes. But I am back. I am back from my vacation. I'm happy to do it. Let's go ahead and put up my little thing. I'm going to get just my topics out of the way right here, and then we're going to get into Kenley Jansen after that. We're not there yet. I know there's a lot of other things to talk about, but hey, 4 in a row, to me, is 4 in a row, and that's really what I'm excited for. I'm excited for 4 in a row, and if you can see on my little thingy that I put up right here, see this right here? I'm going to go right here. Let me see if I can get the finger in the right spot, because it's going to go right there. Other side. Okay, it's going to go right there. It's going to be right at the top there. See that? It says reason to relax. That says reason. I know you can't see it on Instagram, so I apologize, but it says reason to relax up there. That was what we talked about last week before I left and went on vacation, right? Everyone was talking about, it was about this is over, we're 4.5 games back, this game's over, blah, blah, blah. It was all this crazy nonsense of everybody saying how terrible the Dodgers were, and it was over, and the whole season was over, and we should just throw in the towel, and everything's crazy. But guess what? It's a game and a half as of right now. Arizona and I'm blanking on who Arizona was playing right now, but Arizona is tied right now, 0-0, and I know that with the Giants. Arizona's tied with the Giants, that's 0-0. I can't root for the Giants, but at least I can say I want both of them to lose, but I want the Diamondbacks to lose more. Is that possible? Is that something we can say, that the Giants can lose less than the Arizona Diamondbacks can lose more? I don't know. Whatever. Hopefully, let's just say, let's go Giants. Ugh, I can't do it. Hopefully San Francisco pulls that out and makes it so it's only a 1-game back. I know that the Colorado Rockies at this moment are up 2-0 on the Angels, so the Angels really got to help us out in some sense, right? Come on, let's go Angels. But really, reason to relax because it is now only a game and a half, depending on what happens. So it could go back to 2, but really, this is so far not over yet. Remember, last week we talked about it. He said September 15th. Let's talk about it when in September 15th. We're not even into September yet, and we have a 3-game set coming up. Or is it a 4-game set? Yeah, it's a 4-game set with Arizona coming up. It's a 4-game set with Arizona coming up this weekend. That can really be a huge jump. All of a sudden, the Dodgers can be, well, I'm 2 games up on the Diamondbacks. It can happen so easily. So these things that we're all getting upset about, let's all relax still. It's only a game and a half. I get who we just played, but it was all, that's just a pat on the back for myself there, just for last week. Manny hitting with runners in scoring position makes me happy. That equals happiness to me. And Manny had 4 RBIs tonight and got hits whenever you really needed him to. The second time through the lineup, Manny Machado was fantastic, and it was great to see him getting hits, bringing in runs, and hitting with runners in scoring position, which was a real big problem for a lot of the time. Now they're back. Now he's really hitting well, and it's been just on fire recently even over the weekend. He had 2 home runs over the weekend. He was getting RBIs. It's all getting better for Manny. Not in Calabasas. I'm from Calabasas. Calabasas, no, good for you not having to feel it. But it was a 4.4 out of Laverne, 3.4. I think there was actually 3 in a row, one right after the other. Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler had an okay outing. He couldn't get into the 5th inning. It was a little bit, for the most part, he held it to 2 runs, which was nice. But for the most part, he did not look sharp really the entire game. Hello, Federico. He really did not feel like himself this game at all. I saw a lot of 3 and 2 counts, 3, 4, 5 times in that game, which I'm not really used to seeing out of Walker Buehler. It was something that was a little bit different for me. but I think that he will be fine. He still only gave up 2 runs. He only made it through 4 innings, but for the most part, he has looked really good. Carlos Cardenas, where did I go on vacation? I actually went way, way up to the top, almost to the top of California. I was in the Trinity Mountains, Shasta Trinity Mountains, and it was beautiful. I had no service whatsoever. I was gone for about 4 or 5 days. I just got back today. And you know what I said to myself? And I said to my girlfriend, I said, I got to do a post game tonight. I didn't have any Dodgers at all over the weekend. I need to do my post game tonight, so I'm here with you guys. And now for the last thing that I want to talk about before I get into all of your questions and all of your comments and all of your craziness, and we can talk about whatever you want. It's the future Dodgers that are coming. I know what everybody's thinking. Who's going to be coming up when it gets into September 1st, when it goes to a 40-man roster? What's going to happen with the Dodgers? Who's going to come up in September 1st? This is who you're most likely going to see. It all depends on who's already on the 40-man roster and who you can kind of move around to get onto the 40-man roster. And so for the most part, the guys that are already on there, Kyle Farmer, Alex Verdugo, Andrew Toles, they're already on the 40-man roster, so they're most likely coming up immediately on the 1st. That would be my guess. By the way, a great guy to go talk to about this on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Bergman Greg, but at Future Dodgers, they have a great sense of what's happening in the minor leagues every single game, day in, day out. I talk to them in DM. They tell me a whole bunch of information. At Future Dodgers, fantastic. They do a great job, and they know everything that's happening in the minor leagues. I'm talking rookie ball all the way up to AAA. They got it all, and every single night they'll tell you who the top performers were each night. At Future Dodgers, great. But I think Manny Banuelos is a guy out of the bullpen that you may be seeing coming up. Josh Fields obviously will be up. You're going to have to move somebody off of the... If you want to bring up Manny Banuelos, he's off of the 40-man... He's not on the 40-man roster right now, so you have to take somebody off the 40-man roster to add him on. And Manny Banuelos has looked really good in AAA, so I think a guy that we can get to maybe to move off is Rob Segedin. Rob Segedin is still on the 40-man roster, which I was completely shocked about when I looked it up. But Rob Segedin is still on the 40-man roster. You can take him off, possibly add on Manny Banuelos, who has looked really good in the pen, and obviously pen has been kind of an issue, but we've seen the pen look actually great tonight, besides Kenley Jansen, of course, because Kenley Jansen is still not the same. But if you look, go follow Bill Plunkett, OCR, on Twitter. He had an article where he talked to Kenley Jansen, and he talked about what the issue was with Kenley, was that he was taking these meds for his heart medicine, which is a little bit scary because I don't want him off the meds, but he said that he didn't need to be on those meds. He said he felt like he was sleepwalking during that, and he just really couldn't ramp up the intensity and the aggression that he had for most of his time with the Dodgers. But if you can go look it up. Supposedly Jansen's having some issues with his medicine where it's making him sleepwalk. I don't know what it was tonight because he's been off it for a day or two now, so I don't know what tonight was. He got real lucky with that backhand pick, because otherwise that could have been right up the middle and another run scoring, and we've been in a lot of trouble, and you would have seen Kenta Maeda. However, he got the double play. 4 in a row. Dodgers 4 in a row. Game and a half back as of right now. So I'm going to need all you guys on here, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Periscope, on YouTube, on Twitch. Keep me updated what's happening with Arizona, because I can't just be flipping around to different things. Keep me updated on Arizona. Keep me updated on Colorado. It was 2-0 Colorado the last I saw, and it was 0-0 Arizona the last I saw. So keep me updated. All right, that's enough of my rambling on about the game. It's been about 10 minutes, which I like to do. And now we're going to go to your craziness, because you guys are the best. And I love talking to you guys after the game, because sometimes you're crazy, sometimes you're all right on point, and sometimes it's all crazy, but I love it. All right, Robert Gomez on Facebook. Bro, you look like Braun. Hey, I'm Jewish just like Braun, so maybe I'm the same guy. You never know. You've never seen us in the same place, have you? Segedin, yeah, he's still on the 40-man roster. Crazy, right? But there's no room for him on this roster, so I would see him. Mauricio1010 on Instagram. When are you coming back to the afternoon show? Tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow on the Mason and Ireland show. They will make fun of me relentlessly and tell you I was at Burning Man or some craziness like that. I was not at Burning Man, but I was camping away from everything and everyone, and it was magnificent. Absolutely. Let's see. Where do you get the 60-year banner? I need one. You know what? I got this from work, actually. They gave it. It's actually a towel that I hammered onto the wall, and I really love this thing. I think it looks great in the background. I actually have another one, but my girlfriend uses it for her hair, so it's supposed to be a beach towel. But anyway, it's great. Let's see. Reason to relax. The only reason I'm even uptight is because of the bullpen, and this is Michael McQuain on Facebook, by the way. Is because of the bullpen, and the other team scored 2 runs in the 9th inning tonight. You relax. Yeah, come right at it. But yeah, no, look, the reason to relax is because I was talking about last week. I did that. It was when they were 4.5 back, and now they're only a 1.5 games back, depending on what happens with Arizona. But still, it's a reason to relax because they still have 7 games against Arizona. They still have 6 games against Colorado. Colorado and Arizona play each other 7 times where they're going to beat up on each other. They just lost over the weekend. They went 1-3 over the weekend, while the Dodgers went 3-0 and did nothing last night and still gained a half a game. So it's relax, Michael, because the season is not over. The panic button is not here, and that's what I mean by reason to relax. All right, let's check out Periscope. I got. Why do you say we? You don't play for them. Supermoon? Because I'm a Dodger fan. You don't say anything, but you don't say we for the Lakers or the Dodgers or anything else. I mean, what else? You want me to say the Dodgers every time? I mean, I can. If you want me to do that way, I guess that's possible. But for the most part, look, I feel like I'm a part of the team. I live and die by these games like you do. So I feel like I'm part of the team. And so I'm going to say we, and that's okay. All right, let's see. David Ojeda, there you go. Because we are part of the team. Dodgers also include us, the fan base. That's right, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I'm with you. Supermoon, I'm sorry you feel that way, but hey. And there's another one, because we are part of the team. Because we are part of the team. Exactly. We say we because we feel as if we are a part of the team. JT Aaron Johnston, you agree? Bring Kenley in on blowouts? No, JT Aaron Johnston. I do not agree. I understand in this game why they did it, because they needed to see how he was doing. He needs to get it together. He needs to figure himself out. And he hadn't looked really good in his last couple outings. So in a low leverage situation, you bring him in to see what he can do. You hope to see him come in, and you hope to see him throw 95 with a nice cut on it and start to really figure it out. But I think I normally don't like that. But it was really showing tonight. I don't like closers in non-save situations. I always think it's the wrong move to do. I thought it was the wrong thing tonight, but I understand why they did it, to try and get him right. I would have liked to have seen more. Let's see. On YouTube, Arriba, Los Doyers! Jerry Guzman, that's right. I can't relax. Our bullpen makes me worry. Our bullpen was great tonight. Every single guy, there was, I think, no hits until Kenley started giving up hits. There was no hits in that game from the bullpen. The bullpen looks really good. It's always great when the bullpen is doing well. Because that's when they're not in when they're in a save situation, they look terrible. But when they're in that 6th, 7th, 8th innings, they've been fantastic, and I really, really think that it's been great. Let's see. Need to win tomorrow, Steven Ladiner. Need to win tomorrow and hopefully gain 1 game prior to the 4-game set with Arizona. As for Jansen, always walks in non-save situations. That's what I'm talking about. Hopefully when the rosters are expanded to 40, the Dodgers add 10 relief pitchers so Roberts can go lefty to lefty and righty to righty. That's not going to happen. I mean, that's not going to happen. For the most part, you're going to see when Ross Stripling is available, he is not available. All right, 2-1, Rockies winning. Okay, so now 2-1. That means that the Angels scored a run. Good. This makes me happy. Still 0-0, bottom 5 Arizona. Thank you, Erod. Keep these updates for me because I can't look, so I need to see what's happening with all of them. But you're not going to see, you will see a couple relief pitchers come up, but for the most part, you're going to see Kenta Maeda, you're going to see Ross Stripling when he's healthy. You're going to see Scott Alexander. You're going to see Pedro Baez. Hopefully, I mean, he's been great. Hopefully it stays that way. I don't trust him in saves in high-intensity situations, but I do think he's been good so far, so might as well run him as much as you can at this point. I think Caleb Ferguson has been fantastic, so I love seeing Caleb Ferguson. But there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to see guys changing, but for the most part, you're going to see the main guys. But you will see coming up a guy like Tim Locastro. He's already on the 40-man roster, so you'll probably see him. Let's see, Dodgers Nation, you are here. Let's see, let's go back over here to Periscope. I got to bounce around, guys. Remember that. Hopefully, Kenley will get it right. Yes, I agree. Where do you see Urias? Setup, starter, or closer? That's from Silent2384, and that's on Periscope. Silent, I think that you're going to see, it's already set up. He will not be a starter. The starting rotation is set pretty much how it's going to be. It's going to be Clayton Kershaw, who has looked really, really good. And his last 3 outings, 7 innings, 8 innings, 8 innings. With high strikeout rate. I mean, it's been 8, 9 strikeouts is always going to do well for you. So it's going to be Kershaw, it's going to be Buehler, Rich Hills looks fantastic. Even Alex Wood is probably going to be in there too, but for the most part, it's going to be Walker Buehler is going to be the third guy. I would assume that in a playoff series, it would be Wood moving to the pen, and Buehler would be one of your starters along with Rich Hill. But we'll see who's pitching best in September when it gets to that point. This is from CM. I can't say it on Periscope. Cutter don't move, homie. That's right. Hey, you know what? The cutter is not moving, and that's one of the things. What's happening is you're seeing a lot from Kenley Jansen, where he's throwing 94, 95, 96 mile an hour, but the cutter isn't moving like the cutter is supposed to, and that is a problem. When the cutter moves, then that's when he's at his top peak. When he's throwing about 94 to 96 and the cutter's moving, that's when you see peak Kenley Jansen. Right now, he's either getting the velocity, getting up to 95, 96, or he's at 92 and the cutter's moving. So it's really kind of all over the place right now. It's a little bit, we're not really sure what we're getting from him at the moment. Ryan Montez on Facebook. I like how you told us that it's not over after the Cardinals series, Greg, because you're right. Hey, I can hear that all day long. It makes me very, very happy. As you mentioned, if we lost that series to the Padres and possibly have lost this series to the Padres, that's when it would be time to panic. That's right. It's not time to panic because they swept the Padres and they won the first game against the Rangers. So now if you win that game tomorrow night, you win 5 games you're supposed to win all 5 of. Even 4 out of 5 is fantastic. So hopefully, if they can get 5 out of 5 in that, I'm really, really happy with that. And I think that's something that's going to be... And what I really like to see is that Kershaw is going to be facing Greinke probably on Friday, I believe. So there's a lot of good things. V for Venditti. Yep, he gets the victory. It was nice to see Venditti get that. Yes, we do. Tough next games, Arizona and Colorado. Yep, Adriano, you're right. They are tough games. But who knows what... It's going to be interesting to see. The Dodgers have been there. Most of this team has been there and was in the World Series last year. I mean, obviously, Dozier, Machado, and Muncy are not guys that were there last year, but for the most part, the entire team had already been there, and they've already played in Game 7 of a World Series. They know how to win when it comes time to win in September, even though they started off low last year. But they know how to win. They know when the right time to win is, and now they have 7 games against Arizona. They have 6 games against Colorado, and Arizona and Colorado play each other 7 games. What happens in that time? So much movement. The 1, 2, 3 in the NOS is going to change all over the place, and I really, really think that the Dodgers are going to be ahead when all this is said and done. Greg, who is more of an optimistic, you or Mason, when it comes to the Dodgers? Spidey, I don't want to say anything about Mason, but it's me. I'm the guy that's the optimist. It's me. I give him all the thoughts. He has his own thoughts. He watches every single game. Mason knows so much. But I'm the optimistic guy. Even on the radio, though, he is very optimistic, and he's always that guy that's going to keep you knowing what he needs. I'm not there. I'm only here with you guys, so I only tell you what I know. You helped talk me off the ledge several times. Thanks. Hey, you know what, Grabo, 1966, I'm happy. That's what I'm here for, is because when we think things game by game and inning by inning, you really start to see who is going to be... what's really going to happen. Danny Torres, is this Greg Bergman from Mason, Ireland? Yes, it is Greg Bergman from Mason, Ireland. I will be back on Mason, Ireland tomorrow. I had a nice, long, week and a half. I think I was somewhere around a week and a half vacation. I was gone all last week and the first 2 days of this week, and it was so nice. It was so nice to not go in every day and have to watch people be upset with the Dodgers losing. I come back. Right before I left, I said, hey, I hope to be, when I come back, it'll be 70 and 61. Well, it was 70 and 61, and now they're 71 and 61. So this game is right back where it needs to be. If someone can give me a quick update on those AZ scoreless with San Francisco in the 6th, thank you, Jamie Cloninger. Kenley is actually improving. See, Dodgers 35-10. You're right. He's still giving up hits, so people see that, and I think they're right to see and are upset when he gives up hits. The non-save situation is what it's going to be. I really think, though, that once he gets everything kind of working out, he'll be just fine again, and then you have that back of the bullpen guy that is going to just shut things down. Let's see. You are a good dude and keep doing these after games. Appreciate it. Hey, absolutely. Dino's happy to do it. I'm always ready to do these games. I'm going to try and do at least 2 or 3 a week. I'm not going to do one tomorrow. I have plans, but I'm going to try and do one Thursday. Cool. Miss you guys. I live in Seattle. No. Hey, Danny, well, listen anyway. You can still listen on the app. You can still follow me on Twitter at Bergman Greg. And you can also still follow on all these DN post games because I talk to everyone on everything. Let's see. This is on YouTube from Andrew Martinez. Arizona mojo is getting taken away from them. This schedule shows you who can handle what. Last year we had a similar toughness of schedule and did good. AZ isn't doing too well. Tomorrow, thank God. All right, so here's the thing. Like I was trying to say right before, 2-1 Colorado, top 6. Thank you, Daniel Ornelos. This is what teams don't... Arizona has never been there before. They have the last time... This group of Arizona Diamondbacks has not been in the postseason and ready to win when they really need to. I think they went last year, whatever. But they're not ready to have the team like the Dodgers right behind them, pushing. They were fighting with Colorado last year, now they have to deal with a hot Dodgers team coming after them, and they're gonna have a good starting rotation coming at them. The bullpen looks good, and the batting has started to really come around. Max Muncy looks a lot more comfortable at the plate. Manny Machado looks a lot more comfortable at the plate. All of these guys just look so much more comfortable taking their pitches like they did earlier in the year, and everything is getting better. They will be good. Let's see. Jensen está cansado y la den falta otra taponero. Okay, I know that says Jansen is sleepy and it's Dan's fault. The other, I don't know what taponero means. I'm sorry, Jesus Rivera. I apologize. I try to get all of it. My Spanish is just a little bit iffy. Sorry about that. Jansen needs to find his mojo soon, and I believe he will. He will. So that's what it is. This feed is lame. Hey, sorry about that, Fabio. I enjoy it, and other people seem to enjoy it. So come back when you want to enjoy it and not wait on hold for an hour and listen to some guy tell you what you think you need to hear. And I'm going to tell you what you actually need to hear. They also haven't been in the pool. Yeah, that's right, John Gregory. They have not been in the pool, and they will be. Taya, Greg, any thoughts on the Dodgers fantasy football draft? I actually looked at that. Farhan Zaidi won it last year, and Farhan's usually pretty good. I think he has a pretty decent team here this year. I think I know Yasmani Grandal had Antonio Brown. I'm trying to remember who. I think he had Ezekiel Elliott to start off. That's a good guy. I think he's going to have a much bigger year than he did last year, especially with a little less time. And the Dodgers swept them last year. That's right. Greinke versus Kershaw will be fun. Yeah, that's going to be a great one, Spidey. That's going to be a really fun game on Friday. Let's see. Clay Kitchen. I think Kenley will figure things out, but if he can't, who will we turn to, do you think? All right, I'm going to accept your premise here and say that he doesn't figure it out. I think he figures it out, and he's the guy. He's going to be the guy for quite some time. So don't expect to see Kenley Jansen out, not in there in a save situation. However, Craig Kimbrell and Zach Britton. Zach Britton has looked absolutely terrible. Just absolutely awful as a Yankee. I don't know what he did this weekend, but he's been really, really bad before that. Craig Kimbrell has been really good, and he's also pitching on an amazing team with the Red Sox. So I think it'll be fine. I don't think you go after Kimbrell, though. I don't think he's going to be someone. I think Kenley is your guy through and through. I don't think we make anyone. Maeda is probably going to be the guy if for some reason Kenley is not there. All right, there's something going on here on my Instagram where I'm not getting any updates. I wonder if there's something wrong. I love how everyone is saying get rid of Kenley just because of struggle. I can't wait till he finds his groove again, and then everyone will regret what they said. That's right, M. Gold Drummer. That's right. He will be just fine. This always happens. You know, people they see struggle and they get upset, and that's just how it is. So you got to just be okay with it. Send something on Instagram because I'm not getting anything. It looks like I'm being shown, but I can't actually see any new updates. Arizona Diamondbacks ought to hire Bill Murray to clean their pool after the touchdown. You know, if they clean out the golfers, and they won't be anybody playing games. I love Caddyshack, by the way. That is a fantastic movie. What is the story with Stripling? Graybo, why is his return delayed? He's not. He still has some issues. His back has seized up a little bit the last time he pitched. So he's not going to be ready to come back up. He was scheduled to come off today. He won't come up again till he's ready. Maybe Saturday. It really just depends on his back. When his back is available, that's when he will be back on. Let's see. Colorado up to bat with top six, runner on second, 2-1, 0 top of the bat. All right. So good. All right. So there's some movement there. Hopefully that the Rockies can lose that game. I would really like for there to be a big home run from Mike Trout at some point to make that better. Let's see. No, do not get rid of Kenley. He has a new kid. No, I mean it has Ernest Mota. Yes, and he's not going anywhere. Like let's get this out of our system if you want. Do not think that he's going anywhere. Base is still loaded with 2 outs. Thank you. Was up with wild card. Okay. Great. Okay, thanks. Yeah, so that's what's going on with him. So tell me what else is going on. All right. So who AZ bases loaded? Do not like seeing that, Joe. Joe, like help me out here. How many are outs there, Joe? Still loaded with 2 outs. All right. Keep going, Joe. What happening to Jansen? What's happening to Jansen is that he has not figured it out yet. He had this whole sleepwalking thing that he was doing, that he was talking about, was taking the heart meds that happened. He was having some heart issues, obviously before, which everybody knows about. Oh, good. San Francisco got out of it. That's great. That is fantastic. All right, we got some movement here. There we go. Angels to bat. Dodgers sign a reliever. Zach McAllister from Indians. Thoughts? You know what? I didn't see that one, so I can't tell you much about it. I'm sure they're gonna. I missed it, so I will tell you a little bit more about it next time. Heading to the bottom of 6 in the Rockies. Yes. So okay. By the way, I was saying what happened to Jansen is just that he's in a situation right now where he is throwing. If he's throwing 96, the cutter's not cutting. If he's throwing 92, the cutter's cutting, but he's not getting the velocity behind it. And he's just not really hitting his spots. His location is really off, and he's just leaving pitches right over the middle of the plate, and guys are just unloading on them. And it's so he will figure it out. He always does. Right now is not the time for him to start screwing up, though, so it's a little bit tough for this. I want to see him in a save situation. I know it's been tough, but I think now it's time for him to go into tomorrow night. I would love to see him in a save situation and get out of it and really get that confidence brewing again, because that would be huge. No run scored for D-backs. Thank God. Let me get that out of this. What was Kenley taking that was affecting his pitches? I'm not sure the exact medication, but he was taking heart medication that was causing him to feel sleepwalky. He talked to his doctor, and this is all from an article from Bill Plunkett, who talked directly to Kenley Jansen, and Kenley said that he felt like he was sleepwalking, and he couldn't get his aggression up, and he couldn't get his adrenaline going like he normally does, and that feeling of anxiety, that good anxiety that he gets when he goes into a safe situation, he wasn't getting that, and he just felt like he was just kind of going out there, he just wasn't pitching well. And now, hopefully, with not taking that anymore, he starts to pitch well again, although his doctor did say something about how he wanted him to keep taking it. I don't know, it's a little bit iffy, and I'd rather him be healthy than anything else, but we'll see. Who should Dodgers worry more about, Rockies or D-backs? That is a good question, and someone else said that's a good question. This is on Instagram, by the way. It is a good question. I think, for the most part, I think you have to worry more about the Diamondbacks. They have a better pitching staff. I don't really care for the Colorado pitching staff. And what happens when they play at Coors Field, it's just craziness. I think they have a better lineup top to bottom, but I think the pitching staff is better in Arizona. I think Arizona's going to come out of that, but I don't know. They're both really good. And I think the Dodgers are better than every other team in the National League, even though the Cubs have won 6 in a row. I still think they're going to be. Roberts needs to stop going to him. Use Maeda. Gabriel Flores. Maeda would have been good in that situation. I understand. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Kenley Jansen went into this situation tonight. He pitched tonight for one reason and one reason only, is because they were just trying to get him right. This is something that Roberts loves to do. Just try and get him right. Just try and get him right. So for the most part, I understand what they were doing. I don't like it. I don't like Kenley in non-save situations. So Maeda would have been better there. However, I still want to see Kenley in a save situation. I know that's crazy to hear. I still want to see it, though. Where you been? Yair, I was in Northern California on vacation. I was gone for 7-8 days, something like that. I was gone for a long time, and it was fantastic. I got to lay in a river, and I got to just be in just nature for 7 days, and it was so nice. We were at a hot springs last night. Fantastic. Really, really say everybody should go there and just relax. 2-1, bottom 6 about to start. Thank you, Andrew. You're always there when I need you. Anytime I need to see a score, you're right there. Remember, Andrew, free on YouTube. Remember, give me the Diamondback score also. I know everybody else is too, but you are always right on top of that. Great win for the Dodgers. Jansen will get there. Can't lose where I just lost it. Can't lose faith in him. If he gets on track, then we win the West. I 100% agree, Alex. I think they're going to. Baez is looking better. Closer. All right. Edward George. Can we do this for a second? Is this something we need to do? Think about what you're saying. Baez has looked really good over his last 8 innings, something like that. Tell me about every other inning that he had. Were you feeling like Pedro Baez was the right guy? I'm not talking about just this year. Go back for the last 3, 4, 5 years. That's enough. I don't want to see Pedro Baez in a situation right now while he's hot. Sure, second he starts getting it, get him out of there. I don't trust Pedro Baez at all. I hope he proves me wrong, but I don't trust him in the slightest, and I never ever will. Let's see. Roberts made good decision on Kenley need to get home ready with 6-run lead. That's what I'm saying. He went into that game because it was a 6-run lead. It was an 8-2 game. It was a very low leverage situation. Just trying to get him right. 100% all it was. Rockies bullpen not dependable. Yeah, exactly, Grable. They spent over $100 million on their bullpen, and what have you seen from the Rockies bullpen? Garbage. Absolute straight garbage. So I think that the Arizona Diamondbacks have a better one. However, I still think the Dodgers are going to come ahead of that. What's up with Julio Urias? When is he going to come back? Daniel Bustamante. He will probably be back up at some point in September. From what I've read, he will not be back up September 1st. I know he just pitched last night, and he looked pretty good. He had he went 2 innings, 0 runs, 0 hits. I think he walked a guy, 2 strikeouts. I think he touched 93, 94 on his fastball. So for the most part, I think that he will be up soon, and he's going to go straight to the bullpen, and he's already on the 40-man roster, so it's an easy time to bring him up. But I'm not sure when they want to bring him up just yet. They want to make sure he's right before he's in a Dodger uniform. A sign of a good manager is beating teams they should beat. That's a sign of discipline. Paul Farnham. You know what? Yes and no. I don't think a manager has a lot to do with it. I think a lot of it has to do with the players. Here's the thing. A manager does what for you? He wins about 8 to 10, win or loses about 8 to 10 games a year. That's it. It's really a very, very low amount. So for the most part, it's the guys coming through at the right time. The manager, what he does is a guy to help with the egos on the team. It's a guy to make the lineup card and make decisions. In-game decisions is their biggest thing that they need to do. And that is something like the pitching matchups. Taking Caleb Ferguson out after 15 pitches and 4 straight outs. Interesting move. It worked. You brought in Pedro Baez. He got some outs. So there was a lot of things. It was just interesting. I don't know if I would have taken Ferguson out at that point, but now you're keeping him available. So now he's available, so maybe it was the right move. But those are the types of things that the manager does. Winning these games is a lot on the players getting hits. You saw 8 runs tonight. There was 11 the other night. There was 5 on Saturday. There was, I think, another 11 or 8 or 11 on another night. They are getting runs more and more. They're all starting to click, and it's against bad teams. I mean, let's be honest, too. The Padres and the Rangers are both really bad. Like, really, really bad. They are some of the worst defensive teams I have ever seen. And they showed a stat tonight on the broadcast that the Rangers are the worst pitching staff in all of baseball. All of baseball. So you hope that they can sweep this series too. Have 2 sweeps leading into Arizona. That's what I'm going to want to see. Let's see. What do I got here? 0-0 going to the top 7 in San Francisco. Thank you, Andrew. 0-0, but 6-2. 2 outs, Crawford batting. 2-1, bottom 6, about to start. Okay, so that's good to know. We're all started moving along there. Pedro Baez is only good to pitch on one hitter and get him out. That's the only way he's going to be successful. He pitched 2 tonight, if that makes it any better, but not a big thing. I can still pitch. Call me. Joe Ramos. All right, I'll make sure they call you. Don't like Baez. Stop with him. Thank you. John Gotti, this is all I'm saying. All I'm saying. I'm not going to say that tomorrow. I don't know what FTP is. I shouldn't have said it, but I've been seeing it a bunch, actually. I should know what it is, maybe, but I don't know what it is. So you can tell me what that is. Don't like Baez. I stop with him. I totally agree. I don't like him either. I don't trust Baez at all. I hyperventilate every time I see him warming up. Agreed. Right now, he's pitching great, so you can't ever say anything. But this is something that you can... Hopefully, I don't want to see him in a high-leverage situation. I don't want to see him in the playoffs, period, unless they're up big. Bad teams or not, it was nice to see Machado hit with runners on over the last few games. Brandon Piley, that's absolutely right. 100%. I started off the show saying Machado with runners in scoring position, getting hits, makes me happy. That is, Machado equals happiness. He has had 4 RBIs tonight. He had 2 home runs over the weekend. He had a bunch of it. He is starting to hit when it matters, and that was what he wasn't doing earlier on, right? He was sitting there saying that he would come up with the bases loaded in the 9th inning, and he would strike out. Now, when guys are on base, he's getting hits. He has changed his... He's being more aggressive at the plate. He's not just waiting on pitches. He was walking a lot earlier, but now he's being more aggressive and waiting to see things. But I think he's looking much, much better. John Gray, you get your practice and get hot on bad teams. These games are confidence builders. This is the time to get hot. John Gregory, you're absolutely right. Now is the time to get hot, and they are starting to get hot. You've seen it. You've seen them starting to get hot. They've won 4 in a row. They're only a game and a half up, game and a half back. If the Rockies win and if the Diamondbacks win, then it goes back down to 2. If the Rockies win and the Diamondbacks lose, then the Dodgers are only 1 game back. That's 1. Or no, sorry, 1.5 game back. They'll be 1.5 game. Wait, now I'm getting this all mixed up. Yeah, no, they'll be 1 game back. They will be 1 game back if the Arizona Diamondbacks lose. I'm keeping it. Keep Dozier. He makes a good Dodger fit. Machado, I don't know, tons of money. Dinos, look, you want Machado to stay, right? You want him to stay. Hopefully he stays. However, if you have to make the choice and it was one or the other, I think you keep Machado, but for the money-wise, you keep Dozier. Let's see. Machado good. My guy Turner better. Hey, look at it. I got my red dream right here. He's gotten multi-hits in the last 4 games in a row, I believe it is, something like that. He is 3 or 4 games in a row. Man, Justin Turner is hitting the ball so well right now. He's way over 300. I think he's at a 310 batting average now. He was way down at 250 for a while. He's been so hot that he's just shot up on the ranks and with his average, and he's going to be great again. And this is why I always wanted him in that 2 spot. That's why he's in the 2 spot now, and that's what's most important. Let me see. Andrew Gregg, I was at a hard 6 to 8 on the panic meter. Now I'm at a 4 based on how Machado, man, Randy Savage is starting to warm up. I think it's because he donned the Rams unit. Hey, maybe I'm a Raiders fan, sorry to say, but I'm not a Rams fan. Whatever. Here's the thing. You should have never been at a 6 to 8. Just because in the middle of August you should not have been at 6 to 8. You should have always just stayed at that 4. Wait until they're really far back. Wait until September 10th, 15th when they're really far back. Wait until after this weekend series with the Diamondbacks. See where they're at after that. Keep that panic level at a 3-4 for now. That's all that matters. Edward George, Steve Mason. This is gonna be dangerous. I won't say anything bad about my man. Steve Mason said the team that has the best run differential has won the division since like 2007. The Dodgers have the best run differential right now, but a third of those runs came versus Padres. Thoughts on that? I think the run differential is a big deal. I haven't looked at it recently. They were way plus 100 on the run differential the last I saw it. I need to go look at it again because I didn't see it over the weekend. But at the last time I looked at it, they had the highest runs scored, or the second highest runs scored in all of the NL, and the least amount of runs given up in all of the NL. Those things even out, and that's a big thing. And I think that Steve is right. That the team that wins that run differential usually does better. But baseball's a weird, crazy sport, and crazy things happen. Just because they got big runs against the Padres doesn't mean it. They got a huge 24 runs against Milwaukee. So it's not just the Padres. They also got beat up by the Astros to 14 runs. That's something like those. Everything evens out. The good teams have those high run differentials, and the Dodgers are one of those teams that have that really strong high run differential. Rock starter at 100 pitches. Time for bullpen and Halos to get some runs. Tim, that's what I like to hear. Hopefully that's what's going to happen. What is your lineup for the playoff? We're a little bit early, but if you're in the playoffs, my lineup, I like Dozier 1. I like Dozier, Turner, Machado, Bellinger, Muncy, Kemp, depending on who's up that game. And then I like Grandal, Kike in there for the most part, depending on it all starts getting crazy. Maybe Taylor. I like and then Puig in that bottom 8th spot. I like Puig in that 8th spot, and he wasn't in tonight. Hopefully this will be his game, his suspension game, 1 or 2. All right, see, top 7, 1 out. Arizona runner on 3rd on an air catch and on a rare catch in the outfield. Not sure exactly what that is. All right, I'm freezing up here on Instagram again. I'm sorry about that. So if you got something there, please say something on Instagram. I don't know why it's freezing like that, so hopefully you guys come back soon. Ernest Moda Jr., did you see when the right fielder sat on the ball? Yeah, I watched the whole game. Dodgers offense is looking much, much better. Machado is starting to cook up. I really like when Dave Roberts put JT ahead of Machado. I totally agree, Carlos. You talk to anybody at Dodgers Nation, they're all great. We talked about it as soon as Machado got signed. You wanted to see Turner 2, Machado 3. I'm happy that that's where it is now. Once the bullpen gets going, we'll win the division. I totally agree. Dodgers need the Reds closer. That would be Raisel Iglesias. Most likely you're not going to see him. It's just not. Nobody's making any trades now. Verdugo Tolles. All right, Chang, yeah, these are guys that it's time. Facebook and Instagram both live. Yes, everything is live. Walk-off hit. It should be both live. I'm not sure why it's not, but it is. Everything is live everywhere. Let's see. The upcoming Arizona series will tell us everything we need to know. LA loses 3 or 4 or gets swept. LA is done. I don't necessarily agree. I think it's okay to start panicking or getting close to that panic range at that point, but that is not. It's not just that. They'll be at home. The Dodgers are at home, which they actually don't play too well at, which is weird. But the Dodgers, if they do lose 3 or 4 or get swept, that is a problem. However, they still get to play the Diamondbacks 3 more times, and the Diamondbacks still have to play the Rockies 7 times. So they can still move around a lot. So it's not totally over yet there, but I would be a little bit worried just like you, because at the beginning of September, if they're starting to lose 3 or 4 or getting swept, that's a problem. Hopefully that doesn't happen, so don't put it out in the air. First and third, 1 out. Bum is at 101 pitches. Goldie up to bat. Bumgarner, get Goldie to double play. Come on, one time. Let's see. What do you do with Jansen? You keep going to him. Jansen is your closer. You need Jansen right to get anywhere in the playoffs. You don't go away from it at all, so don't start thinking that. Let's see. Let's go over to Periscope, because you guys have been great on Periscope. Love Dozier, love Dozier, love Dozier. Keep Dozier. I agree with you. I'm not going to say that to Nash Cavs because I can't say curse words. I mean, I probably could, but I still work for ESPN, so I feel like it's weird to do. I live in Newbury Park, big Dodger fan. Hey, good for you. I know a lot of people in Newbury Park. Hopefully everything is going well out there. And you guys probably didn't feel the earthquake. Goldie popped out. Good. All right, 2 out. Good. Let's get 1 more out. Come on, Bumgarner. I can't believe I'm saying that. I feel dirty inside. Anyway, let's see. What do you prefer, consistent lineup or based off of matchups, Mr. Goldrum? Look, if I had my way, I would like a consistent lineup. I love consistent lineups. I understand, but this is an analytics world that we live in, and this is an analytics front office that we live with. And the Dodgers are going to have a lineup that is based off of matchups. You're going to have Jock Peterson lead off, who had a nice game tonight. Lead off when it's against a righty. You're going to have Brian Dozier lead off when it's against a lefty. It's just how it's going to be. Taylor will be in against lefties. Oh, he might be in both, but Kike will always be in versus a lefty. They're going to go matchups. It's just how it is. I don't know. So we just have to be aware. 2 outs. Bottom 7, by the way. Thank you. In September, bring up Farmer and send Barnes out. You don't have to send Barnes out. And this is for Orestov on Periscope. You don't send Barnes out because Barnes is actually a really, really good defensive catcher. He has been fantastic behind the plate as a defensive catcher, especially with his pitch framing, which I know a lot of people don't like, but I do. But you're going to see Farmer's going to come up. Andrew Tolles is going to come up. Alex Verdugo is going to come up. They are all already on the 40-man roster. Expect to see them. Tim Locastro, who actually I'm hearing is a really, really is a good player. He's on pace, to have more hit by pitches than Chase Utley because he's getting hit. He's been hit already, I think, 26 times of this year. He is getting hit a ton. And supposedly he's got a ton of speed. His OPS is right around 900 in AAA. You'll see Tim Locastro come up, and you'll be surprised. Maybe he'll just be in as a pinch runner, but you'll be surprised at what Locastro can do. I think it's going to be interesting to see. I got this all, by the way. Future Dodgers, at Future Dodgers on Twitter. Future Dodgers has been fantastic to me. They've said a ton of things. Anytime I have any question about anybody, from rookie ball all the way up to AAA, you can ask them anything. They have stats for you. They have everything that you need to see. Go to at Future Dodgers. They're the best. Dick Mountain swinging a better bat than Barnes right now, Brandon. Yes, Dick Mountain, by the way, is the best name possible ever for anybody for the Players Weekend over the weekend. And by the way, Dick Mountain up against Clayton Richard. was fantastic. Having a Richard Hill matchup with D Mountain on the mound was the best thing you could ever have. That was the best matchup possible, and D Mountain is the best Players Weekend name, period. End of story. Rich Hill wins in a landslide. What are the chances of Keibert Ruiz getting called up? Jason Smith, that's a good question. I think he's been looking decent in Double-A. He just got moved up to Double-A, but they moved Will Smith up to Triple-A to play more catcher along with Kyle Farmer, and they don't really like Kyle Farmer as a catcher, from what I'm understanding. So for the most part, you could see both Keibert Ruiz and Will Smith get called up. I don't see, not Keibert Ruiz. Will Smith and Kyle Farmer both get called up. It's very, very possible. I'm not sure if we see. Will Smith has been really, really struggling in AAA though. So he has like a 370 OPS, which is really, really bad. He's only getting he got a hit tonight, I think, but he's been really rough. So I wouldn't expect Keibert Ruiz up yet. I think he's still a little too young. Really, let's see what he does in spring training next year, Jason. But I think you're going to see Kyle Farmer and possibly Will Smith. Hopefully Will Smith figures it out, though, because it's getting a little bit to crunch time. I don't know. Maybe you could be right, and maybe because Will Smith is doing so poorly in AAA that they might just jump Keibert up from AA. I've seen crazier things, so it's very, very possible. But guys, you're going to see possibly Manny Banuelos. You're going to have to move people off your 40-man roster to bring him up, though. And one of those guys is Rob Segedin. Rob Segedin is probably going to go off. Dennis Santana is still coming. By the way, Carlos Rafael Gonzalez. Dennis Santana is still starting to figure out. He just pitched off a mound today. I think he was pitching to live hitters today too. But he is in Arizona at the ranch, at Camelback Ranch, and he is still not ready yet, but he's getting closer. So he's not technically on the 40-man roster right now, so you'd still have to move people on and off. 3-1 Rockies bottom 7. Oh, does that mean that? Oh man, Rockies got to run. Too bad. But you're gonna see. So there's a guy like Dennis Santana other guys would have to come off the 40-man roster for that to happen. Maybe it's moving somebody that's on the 10-day DL to the 60-day DL and taking him off the 40-man. But there's a lot of things that can be moved. Tony Cingrani already on the 60-day DL. He is not on the 40-man roster. Corey Seager is not on the 40-man roster. He's on a 60-day DL. There's a lot of guys that it just depends. To get on a guy that you're not used to seeing coming up has to take somebody else off the 40-man, and that's where it starts getting a little bit iffy. Josh Fields will probably be on there at some point. He's just coming back. Hopefully he'll have another start and have another time. But what was that? I got a little ding, an airdrop. I don't know what that is. All right, so sorry. And then we're going to do that a little bit later because that's not important right now. Crowd cheering 1-2 count first and third. Shot up the middle out of first. Going to the bottom 7th. All right. So keep keeping me updated. Oh, Yadier. Okay. Yadier Alvarez. You know what? Rene Fernandez, that's a great question on Instagram. Yadier Alvarez is in AA, and apparently he had a pretty clean outing the other day, but apparently he looks really, really bad, where he can't get to first base. He can't get to first base. He's not holding runners on. His mechanics are all off. All the intangibles apparently are just terrible. And so Yadier Alvarez is a guy that has already dropped in the rankings on their top prospects rankings. They've already dropped. I don't think we see Yadier Alvarez anytime soon. The name sounds great, but I don't think you see him anytime soon, and I think that he may get traded at some point too. Why was everyone panicking when the Dodgers were 4.5 games back? Now they're only a game and a half back. Dodgers, thank you. That's exact. Dodgers 35-10. 100% what I was saying last week, and that's why I started off the show saying reason to relax, because that's how I started off the show last Thursday. No, Wednesday. So these were all talked about last week. Just remember that. That's all I'm going to say. Time to make a run. We've owned the NL West for years. The opportunity awaits. Let's get back on top. Go Dodgers. That's right, Mark Diaz. Wait, I like the positivity. Look at all this positivity. All of a sudden, I get all this positivity after a win. Usually it's a negative thing after one loss. And everyone's, it's time to fire Roberts. And then it's, Roberts is the best. Let's everybody be happy when they win. And, I mean, it's good and bad, but just don't live and die by every game. I can update you on scores. Jay Cheng, please do. Keep doing it. Everyone is. Hello, King Zach. Let's see. He was the top Cuban prospect. Renee, maybe he was, but he hasn't been good. And if you know, it has nothing to do with Cuban prospects, but the last couple of ones that have come up, Arizbel Arabuena, Alex Guerrero, those guys all haven't really panned out. Even people don't really like Yasiel Puig. I like him, but he was a Cuban prospect too. So they don't always match. They always don't do as well as they always are supposed to do. It really just depends. That's not anything against the Cubans. It's just those were the last two that I could think of. Let's see. It's my birthday. Happy birthday, Abe Medina. Happy birthday. It's my birthday on Saturday. So, happy birthday to everybody. Virgo, baby. I like it. Can't believe I'm cheering for the Giants right now. It's making me sick. You know what? It makes me sick too. I hate it. What are the chances of Gavin Lux or Dustin May getting called up? Dustin May has looked really, really good. Gavin Lux has just got moved up to Double-A, and he's doing okay. I don't think you see either one of those guys yet. I think they have enough guys in their bullpen that they're not going to. So you'll see them next year. Most likely you'll see them next year, but you will not see them this year. And this is what's so great about this Dodgers team. They're so young. This is for years. They're going to be great for years. What about Andrew Toles? He will be back. He will be back up. Andrew Toles will be back up on Saturday, September 1st. He is already on the 40-man roster. Toles, Verdugo, Farmer, automatically expect him. Hector Oliveira, there you go. They traded him away back to Arizona or to Atlanta because it cost them a ton of money to get Hector Oliveira, and he did nothing. A follow back. I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, maybe at Bergman Greg. It depends. I don't follow everybody back. I try and keep my feed just directly to Dodgers and things that are. I still do work for a large network, and that network I need to know news. So it's nothing against anybody if I don't follow you back. It's just, I will answer you. Following back is just I keep my feed to what I want it to be. So I need to know the news more than I need to see what people say. What do you think about the Bautista trade to Philly? You know what? Jose Bautista Joey Bat still has a lot of power, so I think that's another big bat for them in the outfield. I think it could be good. They're not very good in the later innings. I think they lost tonight because they just have a problem. I think they lost 9 games when leading after 7, which is a problem. Most of all in baseball. Joe Davis mentioned something about Kenley's heart med slowing him down possibly. I wonder how long it will last. Kyle Calderon, that's what we were talking about earlier. When it comes to heart medicine, you always want that to be the most important thing, right? When you want their heart to be first. I want a World Series as much as anybody, but if it comes at the health of Kenley Jansen, I don't want that. He said that the doctors are okay with him coming off the meds. So if the doctors say it's okay for him to be off the meds, then it's okay for him to be off the meds. Well, I need a little drink. 53 minutes of talking straight is difficult sometimes. So hopefully he'll be okay though. Is Clayton Kershaw back? I think Clayton Kershaw was never really gone. I was worried about him too. I was mostly worried about his swing and miss stuff, but he's just been ramping up since he came back. It's okay. No, Kyle, not my bad. I will always repeat myself. If you're not here at the beginning and you're here at the end, it's as long as you're here. That's all I'm saying. Will DJ Peters be called up this December? DJ Peters has looked really, really good, but he's an outfielder. And there's just so many guys in the outfield. When you bring up Toles and Verdugo, DJ Peters just doesn't fit. And that's a guy that I like. I think he's got a lot of power. I think he's really good. I just don't think that he's going to be one of those guys that come up yet. Barnes or Farmer in playoffs. Barnes is a better defensive catcher, and I don't think they like Farmer as a catcher. However, he could be a third catcher, or it could be somebody like Will Smith or even Keibert Ruiz. Just depends, but for the most part, I think it's going to be Farmer as that third guy, and you still want Barnes in those situations. I know his batting average is a little rough. Is it me, or does Kenley Jansen look like he has gained a lot of weight? Do you think that's why he looks so bad, or is it solely a heart issue? I think it's solely a heart issue. His weight, you're only noticing his weight because of what was the problem. Let's see. So I wouldn't put anything on his weight. I think he's the same size, really, that he's always been. What's up with Julio Urias, friend? Well, Julio Urias had a good outing his last night. It was SD Dodger Tim was there from Dodgers Nation. You can follow him on Twitter. He's really good. He had a whole write-up. He has a whole write-up on Urias on DodgersNation.com. Go there. Read all about Julio Urias from Dodger Tim. He says that he went 2 innings. He could be up in September in his his next appearance could be with the Dodgers, or they could have him up one more. I think they said that I think Robert said that he would not be up on September call-ups in the very first one, but that doesn't mean that he won't be called up later on. Why Dodgers didn't buy Roberto Osuna? Whoa, Reyes. Because he is a wife beater, and you are a wife beater, you do not get to play. It's sad and it's pathetic, and it upsets me that the Houston Astros even thought about bringing him in to possibly win a World Series again. That should knock them out. I hate that move so much. Roberto Osuna should not be playing baseball, and for the Astros to do that is despicable, and I don't like it at all. I guess you about 3 southpaws in rotation pitchers. You know what? I know there's matchups and all that. I don't care. I like the guys that they have up there, and those are the guys that are going to be who are the righties that you are going to really want in there? I mean, it's just going to be difficult. The guys you're going to have is going to be Kershaw, Hill, probably Wood, and Buehler. I know who they are, and Ryu too. And Ryu probably has been pitching really well, but I just don't think he makes it. I think there's just too many guys. Unless you move Wood to the bullpen, and then you have Ryu as the 4th guy. So it's just all these things are what's going to happen. Agreed. Going to 8, still 3-1. Edward George, yes. Barnes has better pitch framing. It's absolutely true. 100%. If you actually watch his pitch framing, it's unreal. Because what he does, and look, I'm not a manager, I'm not a coach, but what Barnes does is he keeps his hand in the middle of the plate. It's in the middle of the plate, and he just turns it and brings it up. So he's keeping his hand already there. He's not going low with it, and you can see other guys, when they try and pitch frame, they're going from low to high. He's keeping it high and just bringing it up real fast, and he's getting strikes that most guys probably wouldn't be getting. He is an excellent, excellent pitch framer. Let's see. Just read on Future Dodgers that it looks like Urias won't be ready. See, there you go. You looked at Future Dodgers, and they have some, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's ready just yet. I think he still needs a little bit more time. But what I understand is he's not going to be called up on September 1st, but he will be called up in September. Isn't it crazy that the 2 teams we want to win, Angels and Giants, are our hated rivals? Yes, Ryan Montez. Yes. Yes, I hate rooting for the Giants. I don't like the Angels. I don't like rooting for the Angels. I don't consider the Angels a hated rival. I just don't like them. It's just because they're calling themselves the Los Angeles Angels, and they're not anywhere near Los Angeles. It's all nonsense. Arizona, San Francisco, still 0s heading into the 8th. Thank you for that. Do you think Kershaw will be a Dodger next year? Yes, Dodgers. 35-10. I do think he will be a Dodger next year. Either he opts in or they re-sign him. I do think he opts out, and I think he goes for a lot of money. I think he just takes a little bit of a discount to be with the Dodgers because they're not going to give him that 5-6 years, probably 4 years at maybe 25-30 mil, and that's probably what you're going to see more of. Let's see on YouTube. Going to top 8. I think this chat needs to go until the last of either game. I can't do that. I only got a little over 2 minutes left, so I'm going to go really bit. You only got a little bit of time left for me. I'm going to try and go super fast, super speed on you here. Let's see what we got here. Do you ever get to spend time with players and Roberts? No, I don't get to spend time with them. I watch every single game. I watch every single pitch. I've been watching every single game, every single pitch for my entire life. I go to the games as much as I possibly can, but I have not been. I could if I wanted to, but I don't need to. I mean, getting to know them, I think, messes with my head a little bit, so I'd rather just come on and tell you what I actually feel, because you want to hear what I actually feel and not what they're telling me. You know, I would rather have that with you guys. It's more personal that way. Yeah, Anaheim Angels sounds better. That's because they are the Anaheim Angels of Anaheim. They should just stay Anaheim. Sam Dyson pitching. All right, top of the 8th. All right, let's go away from that real fast. I only have a minute and a half, so I'm going to try and get as much out as I possibly can. Let's see. By the way, Tate, you look a little bit like CT3. I've gotten that a few times. You know what? The other day I got said that I looked like Cody Bellinger. I don't think I look like Cody Bellinger. I was like, hey, thanks. Appreciate that. But yes, I get CT3 a ton. I know the beard, the whole thing. Yeah, we look alike. But I don't think Chris Taylor's Jewish though, so maybe we're a little bit different in that realm. Can you compete with a healthy Cubs team in a 7-game series? Yes, Stack the Cheese. I think that this team in a 7-game series with the Cubs is really good. Their hitting is fantastic. The offense 1 through 8 really good. Their starting rotation really, really good. And I think that their bullpen will be just fine when it comes time to be just fine. And they will be. I look like Yasiel Puig. Get out of here. Poor Greg how was your vacation? It was fantastic, Paul. Thank you. All right, I only have 30 seconds left. That's 4 in a row for the Dodgers, all right? 4 in a row for the Dodgers. And let's keep it up. Let's make it 5 in a row tomorrow night. Look, hopefully the Giants win, and it's only a 1-game lead going into tomorrow. But for the most part, thank you guys. I'm going to be back here as soon as I possibly can, hopefully Thursday. But again, go Dodgers. 4 games, only 4 games in a row. Let's make it 5 tomorrow night. See ya.